Do you want your WordPress website to be found better on the internet? If that's the case, then keep watching, because in this tutorial I will show you step by step how your website can be found better using Rank Math. My name is Ferdy, and right now I will show you what we will cover in this tutorial. I will show you how to download and install the free version of Rank Math. Then we will configure Rank Math and create a Google Analytics and Google Search Console account to see all the essential statistics in the backend of your website. Using the 404 monitor, we will make sure that your broken links are detected and fixed. With Rank Math, we can create a sitemap that will enable Google to index our website even faster. We will optimize the way our pages look in the search results of Google and other search engines, and how to go from this to this. And we will make sure that all our upcoming pages, posts, product pages, whatever kind of page you have, are optimized by default. When we have done that, I will show you how to optimize your individual blog posts and pages. And using Rank Math, you can see every step you need to take in order to be found better. We just have to follow all the suggestions from Rank Math, and I will walk you through them step by step. There's so much more we will cover: how to read the website statistics, how to analyze and optimize our website even further. Even though we already get so much with the free version of Rank Math, at the end of the tutorial I will also talk about the features of Rank Math Pro. In the description of the video, I show you everything we will cover in the tutorial, and if you want to go to a specific place in the tutorial, you can click on the timestamp and go directly to that part of the video. If I go too fast for you, you can slow down the speed of the tutorial, or you can use the left arrow on your keyboard to go back 5 seconds in time. Not in real life, but in the YouTube tutorial. When you apply everything I teach in this tutorial, your website will rank better in the search results. Do you like what you see so far? Then please like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more upcoming WordPress related tutorials. Having said that, let's get started by downloading the free version of Rank Math. So the first thing we need to do, we need to go to ferdycorp.com/rankmath. We hit enter. And then we will be redirected to Rank Math, and I want to tell you this is an affiliate link. So if you would go for the pro version, I get a commission for that. You don't pay more, but I get a commission. So thank you for that. Right now, we're going to focus on the free version. And if you want to download it for free, it was somewhere, where was it? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, of course, it's just here. Click on it and there it will go. So now I go to my website and I want to use my own website, as I said before. And it's a little bit stupid because I have the website already for a long time, but I never really took a good look at optimizing the website. I was just having fun making video tutorials and linking them to my ferdykorpshoek.com website. But the great thing is that now I can show you the progress I will make when I use Rank Math. So if I go to google.com and I search for https ferdykorpshoek.com, then it will show all the pages of my website. So over here, Ferdy Korpshoek, everyone can learn how to create their own WordPress website. I will show you step by step how it is done. And I promise you, I will teach you the best. There could be a better text over here. And what I also do not like is that the title of my website is Ferdy Korpshoek. I want people to find me when they search for how to make a website. People do not search for Ferdy Korpshoek when they want to make a website and they don't know me. So there's a lot of room for improvement over here. Tutorials, share on Facebook. That's not what I want to show over here. Over here, how to make a WordPress website in Dutch. Just a link. It's ugly, and with Rank Math, we're gonna make it so much better. So I go to my website, ferdykorp.com. That redirects to ferdykorpshoek.com. I will go to my dashboard. I know I need to approve and answer a lot of comments. And what I want to do now, I want to go to plugins, add new. I want to upload plugins, and I drag this one, SEO by Rank Math, over here, and I click on install now. I want to activate the plugin. If this somehow doesn't work, there's something else you can do. You can go to plugins, add new, and search over here for Rank Math. And there you go. You can also install over here. A lot of installations, a lot of likes, updated 5 days ago. And it's compatible with my current version of WordPress. So actually, I want to see the setup right now, and I don't see that. So what you can do if you don't see that setup, I can go to the dashboard. Then I can go to Rank Math dashboard. And I can go to the setup wizard. And if you open Rank Math for the first time, you have no account yet, you can create a free account. So you can click over here. You can log in using those 4 methods, and when you do that, you don't need to set up a new membership. Just click over here. So I use Facebook at this moment. Or you can use email address. So I will connect it, continue as Ferdy. Awesome. Okay, I went back to my website and now I need to link them. So I went to the setup again and I activate my free plan now. Okay, then we see those options over here. And we can use the easy wizard or the advanced one. Well, I want to show you the advanced one and I will show you step by step what you need to do. So I click on Start Wizard. And sometimes you see this area over here, import, that you will only see that when you already have certain plugins that are not necessary anymore when you use Rank Math. For instance, Yoast SEO, you don't need it anymore when you use Rank Math. And redirections, you also do not need it anymore when you use Rank Math. So what we can do, we can import that information by clicking here. And in that way, I can get rid of Yoast SEO and redirection, and that will keep my site cleaner. If you don't see this, no problem. Okay, my website, how to make a WordPress website, Ferdy Korpershoek. That's the title. And then the question is, what kind of website is it? Well, there are two types of website, a business website and a personal website. So right now I say personal, and then below I need to upload a logo for Google. But if I make it a business website, I have another option. What kind of business is it? So for me, it is, I can define it as a personal blog, but actually it's a business website. So I say it's another business website, and it's actually about education. So I choose that one. The company name, it is the name you want people to see when they search for you. So if I search for Ferdy Korpershoek, this is what I will see, Ferdy Korpershoek, and that's what I want. So I leave it at Ferdy Korpershoek. A squared logo for Google is preferred. As you see, a squared logo. I use this one. I don't want to use that one. I want to use an image. If you're an influencer, I would go with an image of yourself. If you have a business and you offer a certain service, you can go with a logo. It's personal preference. I prefer to show myself. So I go to upload files and I go with this one. Open a recent file of myself. I call this one Ferdy Korpershoek. I always copy the title and I paste it in alt text. There's also a way to be found better on YouTube or on Google. I'm in Google. Use this file. Social media, same one. This one is from 2014. This one is from 2021. There's a difference. And then we can click on Save and Continue. This is really important. Google Connect services. We are going to make use of Google Analytics so we can see all the visitors on our website and what they're doing, their behavior, and Google Search Console. And we can use Google Search Console to see how well we are found on Google. And the information from those two platforms will be displayed using Rank Math in our website. So we have all the information we need at our fingertips in our own website. And that's why we need to connect our Google services. You can skip it if you want to. I do not. And if you don't have Google Analytics or Google Search Console yet, through this service, we can create that. Let me show you. We need to select an account. So I use this one because with this one, I don't have Google Analytics and I don't have Google Search Console. So I click over here. So it says Rank Math SEO wants to access your Google account. And I want to show them all the information. And in that way, you make sure you trust Rank Math. I trust them. And I click on Continue. So with Google Search Console, now we need to select a profile. That is my website. And that has been created just a second ago. And you can add AdSense. And then over here, somehow I already had Google Analytics, but you need to select your account and your property. I have them already, so I go back to my website where I have that. So I click on Connect your Rank Math account. Yes. Now I select this one I use for all my Google Analytics and Google Search Console accounts. And I just click on Continue. So if you already have Google Analytics, then it will go like that. So over here, my website is created, ferdykorpershoek.com. And over here, I select Ferdy. I select my domain name and my property. I want to see all the information. What you really need to do now, you need to install the analytics code on your website. So Google Analytics can start tracking the visitors on your website. If you have an AdSense account, you're making advertisements, you can select that account over here. But it's a pro option. You don't have it for a free version. I don't use it, so I don't need to select it. but that's how you do that. And if you want to get email reports once every 30 days or every month, select this and there you can see a lot of interesting information about your website. So I click on save and continue and we're going to the next step. And here we are at sitemaps. What is a sitemap? A sitemap is an XML file that is sent to Google, which helps Google to know how many pages you have in your website. And that way your website will be indexed faster and better. So I want to enable sitemaps and I want to include images. And here are the public post types. Well, what I prefer to do, I like to keep it with the default. Landing pages are from Elementor Pro. Custom layouts are also from Elementor Pro, and they don't need to be indexed. So if I create a template I want to use multiple times, I do not want those templates to be indexed in Google. So here I want to select the post, all the blog posts, all the pages, and all the products. I have those three, and those three I want to be selected, and those two not. Public taxonomies, I want to have categories and product categories because I have WooCommerce activated. So I turn those both on, and if you want to select them all, click here, select nothing. So you can toggle that. Something important, RankMath will automatically submit the sitemap only if the Google account is connected in the analytics step. Otherwise, people need to submit the sitemap XML file manually. I will show you later how you can do that if you want to do it manually. So for this, it's perfect for me, and I click on save and continue. And what the RankMath will do, RankMath will submit the sitemap to Google. SEO tweaks, more settings to optimize our website. Over here, the first one, no index, empty category and tag archives. What does it mean? If I have a category with 0 posts, with no content, I don't want that to be indexed because then people go to that page, they see nothing and they go away from the page, and that's bad for the search results. So for instance, over here, I have a lot of posts. And if I go to categories, I see I have 2 categories that I do not use. So I don't want to index those. I don't want to index blogs or online business because they have nothing in it. So if I click on the pages, it looks like this. We don't want people to go to a page like this, and that is why over here we turn this on, so it will not be indexed when it has no content. I don't want that link to be a follow link. What is a follow link and a no follow link? If you have a no follow link, that means that when I refer to an external website, he doesn't get authority from that link. So my website has a really high authority because I have a website with a lot of visitors, like millions per day. No, not that, but a lot of visitors. And that gives my website authority. If an important website links to an external website, that gives that other website also a little bit of authority. Like, hey, a big website is linking to a smaller website, so that smaller website should get a higher authority. If you turn this on, you will not do that. If I go to one of my blog posts over here, and I scroll down, I see an external link. Over here, I see an external link. And over here, I see an external link. If I don't want to give those external websites some juice from my high domain ranking, then I should turn this on. And that's what I want to do. So I turn this on. So every link that is external will not get any authority from me. I'm sorry. And the third one, open external links in a new tab. So if people go to a certain link on my website and they click on it, it will be opened in a new tab. So over here, I go to the web hosting and I click here and it opens in a new tab. That's the way the cookie crumbles. So I save it and I continue. And now it says your site is ready. We can optimize it even more. And before we do that, I go to the advanced options. Click over here. Okay, the role manager, this only needs to be applied or configured when you have multiple users in your website. So for instance, if I hire a few editors or authors, what's the difference? An editor can edit my blog post. An author can create their own blog post on my website. So I can hire some people to write a lot of blog posts, and then I can give them a certain authority, like they become my editor. What should be possible for them to do? Should they be able to use the link builder, adjust the sitemap settings? So that's what I can do over here. So I can say an author should have all the options over here. But if that's the case, they can also mess up things. So that's what you can do over here. You can give a lot of different kind of users different access to certain areas in the website. So I'm an administrator and I want the administrator, of course, to be able to adjust everything. Well, I don't use the role manager because I'm only a one-man show. So I save it and I continue, but that's what you can do. Then there's the 404 redirection. And it's really simple. If I go to a website that does not exist, or a page on my website that does not exist, so I go to / this one, or maybe it does exist, I don't know. It says this page doesn't seem to exist. It looks like the link pointing here was faulty. Maybe try searching, and I can search for name hero. Okay, this is also looking really bad. So there's a lot of things to improve over here, but I don't want people to go to a broken link. It's called a 404 website when people go to a link that doesn't exist. So this is a 404 page. So what I can see now, if I turn on this monitor over here, I will get a report that this link was searched for. Somebody tried to access this link. So when I see a lot of people doing that, I can make sure it redirects to the right page. However, in WordPress and in RankMath, when you change the URL, so I go over here, I edit the post. If I would change the title and I would change the URL slug, so I say free access, I don't know, something else. What WordPress and RankMath will do, they will automatically redirect those pages. So that's great. But when somebody enters a page that does absolutely not exist, then it will be seen on the monitor, and that's a great functionality. So I will definitely turn this on. Later in the tutorial, we'll take a deeper dive into the 404 monitor. I will show you exactly how it works. And I can also create automatic redirections. So they go back to the right URL. So I both turn them on, and we can decide to which URL they should go. We'll talk about this later, but right now this is the right setup. Save and continue, and then we have schema markup. Well, as I've shown you before, if I go to Google, HTTPS ferdykorpershoek.com, you see that this looks different, all those sublinks over here, than normal links below each other. And if I search for weather Maassluis, just 16 degrees Fahrenheit, which is of course 60 Fahrenheit, 16 Celsius. This is the weather. It's tutorial weather. That's the only thing I like about it. But you see, this is a schema markup. It's displayed a different way. If I search for book a hotel in Sydney, I see a different setup over here and also over here. And that's called schema markup. And we can turn it on, and in that way, we can display the information on our website better. So schema type for posts, normally you can say what it is over here, an article. A blog post is an article. But my posts at Ferdy Korpershoek, there we go again. Mamma mia, here I go again. Okay, editor, you can leave this in. I think it's amazing. I have videos as blog posts. So what I can do, schema type for posts, I just can say a video. Schema type for pages, articles. And then the article type, it's an article. It's not a blog post, it's not a news article, it's just an article. So if you have just static pages, you can select articles. And then for every different kind of page you have over here, you can select something. Well, my landing pages, I don't want to display them. So I say none. And for my product pages, I of course want to show products. Let me show you that. Let me show you that if I search for Louis Vuitton bag, is it called like that? You see, it looks like this. Why? Because this is a product schema. So that looks different than a blog post. We see the price, we see the shipping, it goes to the Netherlands. So we see stuff like this, images for that. So depending on what kind of product you have on your website, you can give it a certain schema type. And for products, it is products. Schema type for custom layouts, none, because I don't want to display those. Save and continue. And ladies and gentlemen, this was the first part of the tutorial. It took me so long that there's a new update for a plugin, but I will. And what we can do over here, we can turn off and on modules. So I want to have the 404 monitor. That's why we turn it on, but I don't use advanced custom fields. So I turn it off. I don't create apps on my website. I do use Google Analytics, so I turn it on. I don't have bbPress. So you can go through everything. And what I definitely want to turn on is image SEO. So I turn it on, and then we can configure it later in the settings. Okay, the link counter, also local SEO. I don't want to use local SEO because I'm not a local business. I'm a worldwide business. So if you're local, definitely turn it on because that will also help you in the search results. I do want to use redirections, a schema, a role manager, SEO analyst, sitemap, Google Web Stories, no, and WooCommerce because I turned that on. And if you turn it on or off, it's automatically saved. So I don't need to save it anywhere. Otherwise, you can be searching all the time. Where do I need to save this? But you don't need to do that. Yes. Right now, we'll take a look at RankMath Analytics. But since we have just configured RankMath, there is no data yet. So I will show you a recording that is 2 weeks later so you can see how the analytics will look. And in this part of the tutorial, I will also show you the analytics when you use RankMath Pro. Are you ready to watch this part of the tutorial? I am. Why? Because this is all pre-recorded. This is already on YouTube. You know, that's the great thing about YouTube. I remember when I was 5, I was... So right now we can go to our analytics and see how we are doing. We have 0 pages in our website that are good. We have 1 that are poor. And we have 240 pages with no data. That does mean that there are 240 pages and posts that needs to be optimized. And I will show you how to optimize it. But right now we don't see that much information. So what I've done, I've waited a week and now I have information over here. So now I can talk more about analytics. So first let's go to the dashboard and now I see some information. So let me talk you to the dashboard, the overall optimization. So there are 7 pages in my website. They are ranking with RankMath. So I optimize those pages and they're ranking good. There are also 5 pages that are optimized using RankMath, but they're fair. There can be room for improvement to optimize it. 0 pages that have a bad SEO ranking and 238 pages or posts with no data yet. So there's a lot I have to do. So my RankMath SEO score is 2, which is not that good. That is maybe also the reason why in the second tab over here, things are not going too well. I have less search impressions and clicks and keywords and average click-through rate than the 30 days before the last 30 days. But if I take a look at the last 90 days, by the way, I want to show you that you can change the number. You see the last 90 days, I gained search impressions, clicks, keywords, and CTR. So I can use this to keep track of the progress. So my goal, of course, is to have green numbers, not red numbers. So that's the second tab. And the third tab is the keyword position. So the top 3 keywords, I have 16 keywords that are found in the top 3 positions within Google. There are 72 keywords that are in number 4 to number 10 in the Google search results and 236 between 10 and 50. So I can open the report, and when I do that, I actually go to the second, third, or fourth tab. So if I click over here, I go to the second tab and we can see more information over here, but then we need to upgrade. I will show you in a minute what you will see over here. When you upgrade, then when we click over here, I go to the third tab and we see more information with a nice graph, impressions, the clicks. So what I want to see, of course, is that it is growing, that's going up. So if I would go to the last 90 days, it changes with a nice animation. So with those statistics, I can see which words are ranking well and I can work on that, make it better. And over here, I see the content on my website and how it is doing. So all those pages, I can see that here. And I see what kind of page it is. A page, a post, a page, a post. And I can see how many people will go to my website, if it's improving in position. So ConvertKit tutorial went from number 100 in the search results to number 22. And then if I want to see the best winning, best losing, or the worst losing post, I can upgrade. I'll show you in a minute how that will look. Then at the dashboard, there's keyword position. I can open the report. So I see the top 3 results, 18, the 4 until 10, 58, 10 till 50, and 50 to 100. And then every month I see the increase or the decrease. So if I change it back to 30, it looks like this. And if I change it back to 7, I see these results per day, 16, 90. So it can change per day. And I can use this information to make sure I will be found better. So when people search for Ferdy Korpzoek, I'm at position number 1. When people search for Ferdy Korp, I'm position number 1, Ferdy number 3, and then over here Enfold number 42. And I also see if there are more impressions or less, more clicks or less, or if the position was increased or decreased. And if I want to know more information about that, I need to go to the Pro version, and I will do that in a minute. Then there's the rank tracker. I also need to have the upgraded version. So what I did, I bought the business version because I think it's best for my business. And if I take a look at my dashboard, I see I can rank for 673 words. And if I would go to ferdycorp.com/rankmath, I go to pricing, I can go for the Pro version and I can use it on unlimited personal websites, but I can track until 500 keywords. So if I want to find extra information about all those keywords, I cannot do that because I'm limited to 500 and then I'm only talking about one of my websites. So I go for the business version. Later in the tutorial, I'll show you how to get it, but it's pretty straightforward. Click on buy, then fill in your information and then download the plugin. So what I do, I go to my plugins. So you see an in-depth overview of all the plugins I have on my best website, and I activate RankMath SEO Pro. Now, if I go to RankMath Analytics, everything is unlocked. Over here, I see what kind of package I have. So now I also see this information over here. The top winning keywords: Astra theme, image size, OceanWP themes. And if I think about that, OceanWP, okay, I'm found better on that. My latest blog post about OceanWP 30. It's a product, or OceanWP video series. I don't even show the videos, so I definitely should place those videos over here. I only have one video over here. So that gives me information on what to focus on. CrocoBlock gallery. If I see that I'm found on this, I see the search result is 24. So if I search for this, I should be on page 3. And it can change every day. So let's go to page 2. So at page 3, I should see so it's 23, CrocoBlock tutorial. And over here, I have so many video tutorials, I think worth of 20 hours. So this is not a blog post, but this is our videos. So I should have more text over here talking about all this stuff so I can rank better on a lot of keywords on this page, CrocoBlock tutorials. So it gives me a lot of information. And if I want to know more, I can open this, of course. I go to the 4th area and now I see more information. So I see the position history. It was on 20. Now it's on 89. And then I can work on that, adjust my blog post or place more information. The rest of the keywords, if I click over here, I can select that keyword and I can track it even better. Shopify tutorial, people are searching me, but the latest tutorial or blog post was 2 years ago. So I think it's lower, it's getting lower. I should make a new tutorial or a new blog post or adjust the blog post or make it better. Make sure that I optimize everything. But the first step, of course, is to go to the dashboard and optimize all the pages I've not done. And it takes a lot of time, but in the long run, it will definitely help me. And in that way, I will make sure I be found better. So the rank tracker, I just selected a few keywords as you have seen, and then I see more information about it. Like the position, I can compare them to each other. And if I want to auto import keywords, I can click over here, enable this from the posts and from the pages and from the products. I save it. So it will automatically import, look at this, all those keywords. And then I can find more information about those keywords. And what I can do over here, I can even turn on click-through rate. So how many people that see the result are clicking on it. So the click-through rate is almost 5% over here. So 1 in the 20 people click on Ferdy Korpershoek when they search for Ferdy Korpershoek, or click on this result. And if I click over here, I see which pages are ranking for when these people search for Ferdy Korpershoek. Well, they're all getting lower, so I definitely need to work on my website. But that's what you get. You get more information. What you also can do, you can sort them out. which one do get the most impressions. Ferdy Korpershoek by far. Which one does get the most clicks? And with this data, we can find out how we are doing well. Well, of course, over here you see those 10,000 keywords I can track. Well, I have 14, used 14 over here, but I want to track as much as possible. So if I want to track everything, those keywords I see over here, more than 500, I want to track them all automatically, then I need to have the business account. So that's why I use the business account. Also, when I will use other websites where I will be found on multiple keywords, that's why I went for the business account, but you can do something else if you have less keywords. Okay, I go back to my plugin because I want to remove the pro version, because in this tutorial I want to focus first on the free version. So I deactivate Rank Math SEO Pro. Then I go to Rank Math Analytics. And then if I go to the rank tracker, I need to upgrade again. And then we can go to the general settings. Next up, Rank Math general settings, an important part of the tutorial. With the general settings, we can decide how the information on our website should be optimized by default. So the general settings start with links. You can also search for specific things. And what I like to do, this is my first recording in 4K. I say command plus and plus and plus. So if you look on a smaller screen, you can still see everything the right way. Otherwise it becomes really hard to see, especially when you watch this on the phone. Let me know if this works for you if I do this on 150%. I want to give you the best experience when watching my tutorials. So the first thing over here, if I go to posts, categories, I open it in a new tab. And I view blog over here. What I see in the link is ferdykorpershoek.com/category/blog. I can get rid of this category thing. I think that is better when you get rid of it. It has no influence on the SEO score, but if I want to strip the category base, so I go from category to no category, just blog. By clicking here, then it will look better. So if I would save this and I go to posts, categories, and I view the category, it's gone. So again, it's not an advantage in SEO search results, but it looks better in my opinion. The next one, redirect attachments. I definitely would turn this on. That means that when you have an image on the internet with .jpeg and people go there through the search results, they go directly to the post where that image is displayed. So people don't go to the image, people go to the post that contains the image, and that has a lot of SEO benefits. But then when you turn this on and there are images that are not related to a post, so those images are not shown in any post, where should they go? Well, in that case, I can redirect them to my website. Now follow external links. This is what we already have configured. Now follow image file links. Yes, also images, same principle. I don't want people to get authority from images. And if you have turned those both off, then you can blacklist certain domains. So you can say links to this domain will always be a no follow. And I can always say links to a certain domain should also be follow. So they get the authority. So if I have a second website, for instance, HTTPS passive income with Ferdy.com, that's a new project I've started. And my website links to the website, there is a follow. So passive income with Ferdy.com will get authority from my website. Open external links in a new tab. We already discussed that. I turned it on. So that's the first step of the general settings. Let's go to the next one. Well, how do we want to display breadcrumbs? It also depends on the theme you use. If this is enabled, I turn this on over here. And in my case with the Astra theme, it says this option cannot be changed since your theme has added the support for rank math breadcrumb. So that's added this line in the functions.php file. So I cannot turn this off. It is turned on, and now I can just separate, and now I need to configure it. But not every theme has this. If you turn this on and you see a code, you need to place that code, copy it, then go to Appearance, Theme Editor, open it in a new tab. I understand that I can completely destroy my website, and then I need to go to functions.php, scroll down, and then place it over here below. There's a better way to do that. You need to create a child theme. There are different tutorials for that. My theme has support for this, so I need to do that, and then, so I don't need to do this. And then I can configure how I want this to look. Well, what I prefer, when I see a breadcrumb, I like this arrow forward so people can see where they are in the website. And I want to display the homepage link. The homepage label is home. The homepage link goes to ferdykorpershoek.com. There's no prefix in the breadcrumb, and everything else is fine. I save the changes. Now if I go to the website, I go to tutorials, WooCommerce, I can decide that I show a breadcrumb over here. So it would say home, tutorials, WooCommerce tutorial, create an e-commerce store. And then I can go to the homepage, I can go to the category tutorials, and that's how you can display breadcrumbs. But again, I've not added it in my template, so that's why it is not displayed. Images. What I can do, I can go to media library and I just grab a random image. This ID 4 over here. Well, first of all, when you upload an image, never upload an image like this, because that's just ugly. Call this the Volkswagen ID 4 2021, something like that, because then it can be found on the title. After that, over here we see the title, we can change this to Volkswagen ID 4. Copy the title, bring it to the alt text, but what we can do, we can add the missing alt attributes automatically. So when I upload an image that's called Volkswagen ID 4, it will also automatically be displayed over here. That's what we have just done. And then over here, I just want to link to the title, or even better, I can search for file name, or I can type it like this, but I prefer to go to this list and search for file name. So now Sunrise Analytics will be the title at the alt text automatically. So over here, it will be automatically be placed. Add the missing title attribute. Well, that's not necessary because it already, look at this. If I upload a new image, or let me upload a new image. It's called 01. So if I open this and I click on it, it's automatically called 01. So you don't need to turn this on unless you want to take it to the next level. So you can make this title, and after that you want to add a separator, and after that you want to add the site title. So then it would say 01 separator, how to make a WordPress website. So if you want to play around with that, you can do that. I personally turn this off. Just use the title of the website. So if I search for Volkswagen ID 4, I go to the search results. Why does this appear? If I click over here, right mouse click, open image in new tab. I see it's called WV ID 4. So really important to rename your images. Okay, command W, 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 W. Save the changes. And then we can go to the Webmaster Tools, which are already linked. Search Console. If I want to verify this again, I already have, but I can click over here. I can copy this. I can paste it here. Then I save it. And then over here, I can verify it. And now it's verified. So now they're linked. You can do the same with Bing Webmaster Tools. Click over here, Baidu, Alexa, Yandex, Pinterest. And if you're ready, you can save everything. Edit robot.txt. Okay, let me make something clear. A robots.txt file tells search engine crawlers which URLs the crawler can access on your site. This is basically used to avoid overloading your site with requests. What people sometimes think, but it's not the case, it is not a mechanism for keeping a web page out of Google. To keep a web page out of Google, we need to block indexing with a no index or password protected page. I will show you how to do that. So it's actually used to manage the crawler traffic, so you don't get too much traffic on your website from crawlers. So actually I leave it as it is. But what I can do if I don't want the page to be seen in Google, I go to Pages. I open in a new tab. I go to the About page. I go over here to Rank Math, and then over here at General, the second tab. And then I say no index. And you see it unchecks automatically. What does it say? Prevent pages from being indexed and displayed in the search engine result pages. Well, I don't want that. What you also can do, click over here, make it a password protected page, and then use a secure password. And then also Google cannot show the content of this page on your website. Well, if you want to know more about this, you can click over here and it will be explained over here. I normally leave this empty. So I suggest you do the same. If we go back to the Google Search Console and I go to Legacy Tools, Learn More over here, I can see the robot texter. I can select this one. What I see is exactly what I see over here. Disallow WP admin, allow WP admin, admin Ajax.php, and then below, this one. So this automatically created, I leave it like this. If you want to learn more, you can follow the tutorial over here. So when we go to others, this is what we will see. Show SEO score to visitors. If you have optimized your whole website based on this tutorial, then you can show that, and then you can decide where, and then you can decide where you want to display this on all the posts or all the pages, all the landing pages. And you can use a circle or a square. You can show it above the content, below, or both. And when you do that, it will be displayed automatically, or you can decide where you want to display this on certain pages, and then you need to copy and paste this code on that specific page, and then you need to add this shortcode in your function.php file. Yes, I don't use this. I only use it for myself. So if I go to a certain website, I see how well it's ranking, and then I can optimize it even further. So let's talk about RSS before and after the content. So what does it mean? Well, people can click on an RSS button and then follow information from your website. And there's another way. If people go to news.google.com and I go to sports, for instance, then I see an overview of the latest sport news articles. And this is RSS. So we can see the information, and if we want to know more, we can click over here. And then we go to the real post. So over here, this is the RSS code. So we can decide how we want to display our RSS when people are interested in news from your website. So we can create it over here, a before content and after content. So above the content, I want to have the title or the blog link. So I copy it. I also want to display the featured image above the content, and I want to have a description. Blog link or blog description link. And over here it says over here a link to the site with your name and description as an anchor text. Okay, and then below the content, I want to say the post and then post link first appeared on, and then the blog link, and is written by, and then the author link. Point. So when people somehow follow us through as RSS, they will see a nice overview of all our blog posts and our pages. I can save the changes, and then we go to WooCommerce. And this is available because I have installed WooCommerce. If you don't see that, it means that you don't have WooCommerce. So over here, you can again remove things like shop and category based. Well, I like this one, but I turn off this one. So let's see how it looks right now. I go to the website. And here at resources, I have the Divi theme. Right now it says product, the Divi theme. If I would turn this and this off, and I save it, and I go to resources, and I go to the Divi theme, which is Divi 4 already. Oh man, I'm way behind on my website. Then you only see the Divi theme. Well, I want to see them both. I can I can also remove the parent slugs. That means if you have a category and a subcategory and another subcategory, you can remove those all. I leave it as it is. I save the changes. Then we go to the most boring part of the tutorial. Edit HE access. I leave it as it is. Then there's the 404 monitor. There's the mode, simple or advanced. Well, if you have a normal website with not thousands of pages, you can use a simple one. If you see a lot of errors coming up, a lot of 404 errors in the monitor, then you can use advanced. But right now I would go for the simple one. And then there's log limit. How many logs should you see? How many 404 errors with the URL, with the date and the time? Well, 100 is enough. And again, if your website is bigger, you can change it to 200. But if you see the latest 100 404 errors, you should be able to fix those. So that's okay. If I decide to change all the titles and URLs in my blog, I can decide that everything that contains /blog/ should be excluded from the 404 monitor. I don't use this. I always want to see where my errors come from, and then I can use redirections in order to put them back, to link them to the right URL. So if I have the Divi theme over here and I change it to Divi theme, then when people go to the Divi theme over here, they go to a 404 page, and then I can redirect them to the new and better URL. This is all fine. I click on save the changes, and then we go to redirections. What should happen? Debug redirects. Display the debug console instead of being redirected. This is for administrators. Well, I turn this off. I don't need it. Then there's the fallback behavior. What should happen when somebody goes to a page that does not exist? We can show the default 404 page as I've shown you before. If I go to this page, I see the page. This page doesn't exist. I can also redirect them to the home page, or I can create a custom redirection, a beautiful 404 page. Hey, I'm sorry, you cannot see this page because it's not linked correctly. We'll fix it as soon as possible. Well, I redirect them to the default 404 page, and then the redirection type, it's permanent. I like it to be permanent. So what I will do, if people go to an old page that does not exist anymore, and I will redirect them automatically to the new page, then it's permanent. It's not temporary. No, it's permanent. So I like to use a 301 redirection type. And this is what I really like. If you turn this on, you save it, and I go to a certain blog post. So to this one, complete affiliate marketing tutorial for beginners. And I changed the URL, the permalink. I changed it over here somehow. What RankMath will do, it will automatically use this old link. When people go to that old link, because they see that on the internet, they will be automatically redirected to the new link. And that's what I really like, because that will save you a lot of time. So that's great. And then again, over here, we have the analytics. This is what we have already configured. And later, if you want to get the pro version and add AdSense, you can get more analytics. So here you see every 30 days, and you can change it when you get the pro version. So those were the settings. We will set up the default titles and metadata. If we set it up correctly, it will save you a ton of time in the long run. Are you ready? I am. Are you? You're probably waiting for me, but I'm waiting for you. But I think we're both ready. So let's get right to it. Come on, let's go. Yeah. Okay, let's do it right now. Now it's time to take a look at the titles and metadata. I will close this and this and this. So over here at global meta, we see some settings. The first one is robots meta. And all the index files, all the files we want to show to the world should be indexed by robots. So by Google, by Bing, other search engines. So it turns off, and the rest of them, I leave them off. Advanced robots meta, you need to make a calculation with pi and stuff. Now, this is just okay as it is. We don't need to do anything about it. If you want to know more about it, you can hover over it. Also, leave this one checked. And then over here is the separated character. So if I go and search for how to make a website, and I skip all the ads, how to make a website, and then you see this area and also this one, the separator, how should it look? A dash like that, or small dash, or this one. Well, you can decide how it should look for all your posts by default. So there's the post title, and then there's the title of your website. So how should it be shown? I prefer personally this one. So there's the post title, then how to make a WordPress website, and then Ferdy Korpershoek. And what I also like to do, every first letter of every word should be capitalized, and I can do that over here. Then there's the open graph thumbnail. So if my website is being shared, this will appear. Wow. And on Twitter, I like to show a big image. So when somebody shares my post on Twitter, I have a big image. That's what I prefer, big image. Then if you have a local business, you see local SEO over here, and really important to fill in all the information. Well, I don't have that much information. So if you search for a store in Maasluis, a store of my brother, the Doorsluizer Maasluis, you see more information over here, like when they're open, the address, and they definitely should also use Rank Math because it's not optimized yet. There's nice information, but it could be displayed better. Oh man, I will help them with this because man, there's so much more to gain over here. Save the changes, and then we go to the next one, social media. Place your Facebook URL, Facebook authorship. I do the same one, and I will leave this all as this. Twitter username, Ferdy Corp. Save the changes. So just fill in all the information about your Facebook and Twitter URL. Then we have the homepage. And if we want to edit the settings, we need to go to that specific page. As you see, we can do that over here by clicking here. We'll talk about this later. Let me go back to Rank Math, titles and meta. We're at the homepage. Let's go to posts, formats. So from the archive titles, for me personally, I don't like this. It says nothing. Example term, archives page 204. What I prefer, I use the term, but then I don't use the archive and the page. I just use example term, and then I say Ferdy Korpershoek. Term description, well, that's what I want to have. And if you want something else with a date after it, for instance, date or year, you can also place that. But I leave it with this. Format, archives, robots, meta, I turn it on. And also here, I leave it all as it is. Save the changes. It's a little bit boring, maybe this part, but it's getting better. This is more fun. Let's go to authors. If you have one author, only yourself, then disable it. If you have multiple authors, you can turn this on. And if you want to display how an author is displayed, you can say Ferdy or the name, and then like that, author at this website. And over here, you can search for author description and turn it all on. I disable it because I only have one author. And if you turn that on, while you only have one author, that can cause some confusion at Google. And we don't want Google to be confused about our website because that will not be beneficial to us. The MISC pages, also over here, should we display the archive October 4, 2021, page 2 of 4 of this website? Yeah, let's do that. And I leave this empty. And if a page is not found, I leave it as it is. Save the changes. Now let's get to the fun stuff. Really important, this one, the post types. How should they be displayed? Well, over here, I have this title, Complete Affiliate Marketing Tutorial for Beginners. And when people search for this on Google, what they will see by default, we're gonna optimize this page later, but if we do nothing, let's see how it looks. I go to Google, hit enter, and it says Complete Affiliate Marketing Tutorial for Beginners, and then Ferdy Korpershoek. Well, it's the old results yet with the dash, but right now I want to change it to only a title, Complete Affiliate Marketing Tutorial for Beginners, for instance. That's the latest post. So not Ferdy Korpershoek after that. No, just Complete Affiliate Marketing Tutorial for Beginners, and then learn step by step how to start with affiliate marketing today. That's also what I want to show over here, the excerpt. And the schema type, in my case, it's video because I show videos, and the headline, I just want to have the SEO title, and the description is SEO description. I want to index the page, and I leave everything else as it is. Save the changes, and then we go to the pages, and I want to do actually the same thing. Not Complete Affiliate Marketing Tutorial for Beginners page, blah, blah, blah. Site name, no, only the title. And you know what? Since the titles are shorter, I want to have the site name. So homepage, how to make a website. The excerpt is also fine. Yeah, and this also all fine. Save it. So those are really important. So by default, these settings will be applied. The title, the separator, and then the site name. But we can change it on any individual page. Attachments, we configured it already before. Landing pages, only use the title. This is not indexed because this is from Elementor. I don't want those landing pages to be indexed. I say title excerpt, schema type, nothing. I need to go to landing page robots meta. Since I don't want it to be indexed, I need to open this landing page robots meta and then change it to no index. I save the changes. Then below landing pages with products, I do want to be found on products. So I say the title, the separator, and then the site name. And the excerpt, product archive title, products archive, and then the name of the website. No description, WooCommerce product. It's actually pretty straightforward, all this stuff. So I leave it all as it is. And then the custom layouts, I want to do nothing with this because it's not indexed. So again, only the title, no index. Save it. Okay. Then the categories. I don't want to be found by my categories. So I put them on no index, so they will not be indexed. I want to be found on blog posts and pages, not on categories. So I do the same with tags. No index. So I also don't have to change that stuff over there. And then there's a trick you can apply. If we go to the posts and I write a review about ConvertKit, for instance, I can have the title. Then I can have the separator. And then I can have the month, current month. And then after that, I can have the year. Well, what it will say, it's a long title over here, but it will say October 2021. So when people see that on the internet, review ConvertKit, and you see it is from October 2021, you like to click on it. Well, I do not update my blog post every month, so I cannot claim this, but I can place the year over here, and even without a separator. So Complete Affiliate Marketing Tutorial for Beginners. And on the 1st of 2022, 1st of January 2022, it will change. And then Google will also pick that up and that will also change. And then I need to make sure that all my blog posts are up to date. Same you can do with pages, but with pages, no, I prefer not to do that. So those were the settings. Product categories, the same, no index. And product tags. No index. Save the changes. Let's talk about sitemaps. A sitemap is a file with important information about all the pages, all the posts, all the products, all the pages on your website. And when Google gets access to that sitemap file, it will help Google to index the posts and pages on your website. I'm stuttering a bit, but it doesn't matter. I continue to record because I'm in a flow. Let's continue. Okay, so far so good. Let's take a look at the sitemap. How many links do we want to submit per sitemap? Well, depending on how many pages you have, I already have a lot of pages, so I will say 500. Do I want to add images to the sitemap? Yes, because then I also can be found on images. If I search, I go to images and I search for HP 30 WordPresshook.com. Look at this. I want to be indexed by all those pages. Sometimes when you do this, you see nice images. I've never seen this image, for instance, from SiteGround. That's funny. I have no idea. Funny. Maybe I just wrote something. I don't know anymore, but nice. That's how you can find interesting things. Google yourself and see what will happen. So 500 include featured images. Yes, I don't exclude posts or terms. Ping the search engine. So now and then this will be resubmitted, or we will let Google know that this is updated. Okay. Now that's it about sitemap. If there's something Google doesn't like, it is URLs that do not exist anymore, also known as broken links. It's not as bad as a broken heart, but it's still not good. So with the 404 monitor, we can monitor everything that is not working correctly, and then we can fix it using the 404 monitor. Let's dive right into it. The 404 monitor, this is really interesting. Look at this. Right now, I created the test page. Today I created it. But right now I removed it. So if I go to test, it doesn't exist anymore. So that's what I did, because now it says 5 hits. Today, it's not working. And what I can do now, I can redirect this manually. So all the test people that go to this page, they should go to HTTPS 30 WordPresshook.com. Or it's a permanent move. Or when I rename my blog post and I see it in the monitor that is not working anymore, I can redirect it to the right URL. So it went from the Divi theme. If that page doesn't exist because I changed the URL, I can send it to this one and then they will be redirected automatically. Right now I want to redirect them to the home page. Add a redirection. Great. So now if people go to test, they go to the home page. It is working. I'm happy. I hope you are too. If you like this video, please like it and feel free to subscribe for more upcoming videos. And because I do my best to create the best tutorials about WordPress related topics and how to start your business, online business and stuff. Really nice stuff, if I can say so myself. Let's go back to the 404 monitor. So what I can see, I can go to feeds and I see it's not working. So if I go to 30 WordPresshook.com/feeds, I can redirect that page to the home page. And I can use the code content is deleted. Add a redirection. And then I go to the monitor again. How to make a website for free. Yeah, that link over here is not working. over here. So the privacy policy, if I click over here, it's not working. So what I can do, I can go to the footer and fix it. So I go to the customizer. I click over here and I need to make sure that the link is working. It's not working because I did not add HTTPS ferdykorps.com privacy policy. So now it's working. So that's what you can do with the 404 monitor. Shop plugins. Okay, look at this. When people go to this page, they don't find it. So I go to resources, to the WPML plugin. Here's the right link. So I can redirect it over here. Add a redirection. If people search for ConvertKit, copy, paste, it's not working. I go to the 404 monitor. I search for ConvertKit. Redirect. This one, ferdykorp.com/convertkit. Add a redirection. So when I go to ferdykorp.com/convertkit, I go to ConvertKit. So really important. So keep track of what people are doing over here. I can clear the log now and see if things will happen again, and then I can make it look better. And then what I said before, I can use redirections. The 404 monitor shows you which pages are not being found, and redirection helps you to redirect the broken links to the right posts and pages. Let me show you how you can use redirection in RankMath. So what I also can do, I can create a new one. I can say when people go to apples are cool. So they go to ferdykorp.com/apples are cool. I can send them to apple.com. I add the redirection. So when I go to ferdykorpershoek.com/apples are cool, I go to Apple. So you can also use external redirections. I use this tool all the time because I don't want to send people to a long affiliate link. I just want to go to ferdykorpershoek.com/ and then my affiliate link. I can bring them to the trash, empty the trash. There's a tool within RankMath that scans any page on your website and gives you feedback on how you can improve your website. And this comes with the free version of RankMath, which is, in my opinion, really exciting. Let me show you how we can use SEO analysis to make your website better for the search results. So next area, the SEO analysis. We can start it. We can start our analysis. So I click over here. My website will be analyzed. So the score of my website, or of my page, my homepage, is 84. And what I see, that a lot of things are going great. There are 0 warnings, but there are 4 things that really need attention. So what I can do, I can scroll down and then I can see the priority, automatic updates. That's okay. Then we see the next thing, basic SEO. Below that, we have advanced SEO. Below that, we have performance. And then the latest one is security. So we can walk through them. And of course, we want to get this as high as possible. So if I go to the priority, that seems to be fine. If you don't have this turn on auto update for RankMath. Then the basic SEO, the common keywords, our website, make, menu, tutorial, WordPress, tutorials, toggle, theme, affiliate, and Elementor. And it's just information. It's not a warning. It's not a pass test. It's not a failed test. It's just fine. It's just informational. Then the SEO description. Learn how to make a website by following the best step-by-step tutorials on the internet. That seems to be good. 89 characters long. But then over here it says H1 heading. And you can have only one H1 tag on your website. It says there are too many. There are 2. For the best SEO results, there should be exactly one H1 tag on each page. Well, you can click over here on how to fix it. What I will do, I will go to my homepage. So this mainly analyzing my homepage. I will show you later how you can analyze different pages on your website. So I click on Edit with Elementor, and as you've seen, I've updated my page already a little bit. This recording is a little bit later because I want to optimize this tutorial, so I want to give you the best. So what it says over here, learn how to make a website using WordPress, and then subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I want this to be the only H1 title, and then there's a comma. That means this is the second one. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I scroll down and I click over here, and I need to change this to H2 because it's H1. So that's amazing. This in the free version of Rank Math, it just shows me, hey, you need to fix this because then you can be found better. So this was a really big error and I fixed it. Everything else seems to be fine. All those titles are H2. So you need to have only one H1 and the rest needs to be H2. And it looks pretty good. And then this is for the whole website. Focus keywords. There are 64 pages and 154 posts and 19 products with no focus keyword set. So if I click on it, I see all the pages over here without a keyword. And what I also see, some pages that should be removed. I use them for personal things. Never do that. About Me 3, it's probably not interested. I should check it out, but I need to optimize my page so it serves the purpose of my business, and that's to help people to make a website. So they should not see pages about ad outreach or the Brizy Builder. Well, I don't even have a tutorial or a blog post about that. I need to make my website clean. So that's I have some that's some homework I have to do. Create focus keywords for all those pages and products and posts. And the post titles are missing. There are 2 pages and 1 post, published post, where the focus keyword does not appear in the post title. So I should also fix that. Then the advanced SEO. How is your website looking? How to make a website 2021. I think that's perfect. And I will show you later in this tutorial how you can make it like this. The mobile snapshot. I already fixed this. So there's a little bit more space over here. And I have to say, I'm doing pretty well. What it says over here, your website makes 78 requests. More than 20 requests can result in slow page loading. Well, I have a really fast web hosting provider, but it's 78 and you should not have more than 20, or it's better not to have more than 20. So what I can do, I can go to my plugins in a new tab. Let's see what do I use this one? Yes. Do I use Astra Pro? Yes. Do I use ConvertKit? I'm not sure. I should check it out, but if I don't need it, I should deactivate it. ConvertKit for WooCommerce, I can deactivate it. I can also deactivate this one. Delete them. Don't use things in your website you don't need. See, there's a big bag. The more stuff you have in your bag, the harder it is to walk. Easy social feed, no. Deactivate. Delete. I also saw something about Facebook for WordPress. I don't use it anymore. This is what I use. This is what I use. Using post widget with thumbnails. I don't. Yeah, I use it in the footer of my website. I should get rid of redirection because Rank Math can do that for me, but then I need to fix it first. SiteGround Optimizer, Ultimate Add-ons for Gutenberg. I say deactivate, but I need it. And WooCommerce, I also need it, but I could get rid of it because I can find a workaround on how to work with that. So let me close that. And then over here, I see all the available or visible plugins on my website. So if people want to know what kind of plugins I use, they can see this. So nice. I adjusted a few things. I click on Start Analysis and Analysis again. And probably it needs some time to see the results. I updated. Yeah. So now if I go to my website, to the homepage, and I inspect this, I see it's an H1 over here. I see it's H2. So what we'll see over here, since I changed it H2. So it's working, but probably the site analyzer needs some time to figure it out. Yeah, because it definitely should have less requests since I removed a few updates. So do it again in a few days, but this is mainly about the homepage. So what if I want to go to the page web hosting and I want it to be tracked or analyzed? Well, I copy the URL, then I go to ferdykorp.com/rankmath. And then I scroll down all the way to the footer. And then over here at useful, I go to the SEO analyzer and I can implement or type in any link on my website or any website and click on analyze. So this one is 85, but there are 2 failed tests. No H1 tag was found. So then I can edit this with Elementor and then I can make this an H1. If I go over here, I can also use SEO over here. Best web hosting, that's what I want to be found on. Best web hosting. So best web hosting is in H1, which is good for the search results. So now if I would go up, I think it's not adjusted yet, but then I only have 1 error yet. So I scroll down, I see the same thing as within our WordPress website. And then again, those requests are already less, but I think it's still not updated. So that's what you can do with every page, the analyzer. So I think this is a great tool. And that brings me to the following. If we want to optimize our website, we need to optimize our posts and pages and product pages. So I go to the home page, and in order to optimize a blog post, for instance, I go over here to ConvertKit. This beautiful thumbnail, of course, I can do better, but I don't want to impress you too much with this tutorial. It's already so good. No, just kidding. So this is a review about ConvertKit. And what do I say in the title? You don't see the title, but the title says about ConvertKit. So we're going to optimize this post. How can we do that? Well, I click over here on edit this post. If you want to learn how to create this post, I have a tutorial about that. You go to YouTube and you search for affiliate marketing 30. Then go to this one, and there I'll show you step by step how to write a blog post, how to make it better, even if you're not native English speaking like I am. What I mean by that is that I'm not native English. But now, since we have Rank Math, look at this. We see a score. So what we can do, we can make this a much better blog post. And the first thing I want to do, I want to create my focus keyword. Well, there are a few ways to find out what is a great keyword to use for ConvertKit. So this is a ConvertKit review, but if I would search for ConvertKit and I do space over here, I see what people are searching for, ConvertKit versus MailChimp. So that gives me another idea for another blog post. ConvertKit pricing. So hey, what did I do? ConvertKit pricing. I use that over here. The titles are really important. H2, you can have only one H1 title. That's automatically over here. And then all the other titles needs to be H2. And when you use a title, Google knows, hey, that's more important than this text over here. What you can also do, you can make more words bold, Command B, Control B. Words you want to be found on, it's okay to make them bold now and then. The creator plan. So if I search for ConvertKit Creator, Pro Creator Plan. So make sure you find the best keywords to rank on. And if I take a look, I use Ahrefs. You don't have to use it. I use it. There's a 7-day trial for $7. As you see over here, I use the Pro version. If I go to Keywords Explorer and I go and search for ConvertKit, and I go to the matching terms, I see what people are searching for. And if I go for the global amount of searches for that word, I know ConvertKit is a good one, ConvertKit pricing, ConvertKit versus MailChimp. So that gives me an idea on how I should write my blog post. Also here, when you type something, you get suggestions also with the free version. So pricing, login, affiliate. So what I want to be found on is ConvertKit review, because when people search for that, I want to be found. And then it says the total score is just 33. Well, how can we make this better? How can we make this better? We don't need to guess. We just need to take a look over here. It says the focus keyword does not appear in the SEO title. Oh, well, what is the SEO title? That's over here. I can edit this snippet, and this is what you will see in Google. So I click over here, and now we can make it look better. Well, this title is based on the title and the current year. So what I also can do, I can change the title. So over here, I can say ConvertKit review. And then over here, automatically, it will be changed. And now I go to 72 in points. Hey, I like where this is going. So let's take a look at what else. Hooray, you're using your focus keyword in the SEO title. Focus keyword not found in your SEO meta description. That's this area. So I edit the snippet. This is fine, ConvertKit review. And when you see the focus keyword over here, it will be bold. So also here, it is not good. So what I will do, I will go over here, to this area. And then I go to the permalink and I change it to ConvertKit review. Now it looks like this, ferdykorpshoek.com/ConvertKit review. Update it, and now it's 77. Nice. Click over here again, edit the snippet, and now you see it's bold over here and bold, but it's not here. So I need to create a text, a small text that contains ConvertKit review. In this ConvertKit review, I show you the pros and cons about ConvertKit and how you can get started for free with ConvertKit. Sometimes I forget the T. So ConvertKit review is bold. The title is really short over here. So what I also can say, current year, ConvertKit review. And then separator, get started for free. And if this can be removed, yeah, I see it's getting better. Get started with ConvertKit for free. Start with ConvertKit for free. I don't know. Get started for free. It's okay. ConvertKit review, that's okay. I want to be found on that link. If I go to competitors, I search for ConvertKit review. I want to talk about so many things right now, but I need to keep in mind that it is a ConvertKit, that is a RankMath tutorial and not a complete SEO tutorial. I have one and I will link to it. So if I click over here, it says over here, reviews and ConvertKit. If I go a little bit further, G2, ConvertKit review. So keep in mind that you need to have those ConvertKit review in your URL. So we're getting to 81. So what else can we do? We can also add more keywords. There's only one focus keyword. That's the first one. So keep in mind that you first type the first one. You cannot drag them around. And then I say ConvertKit. ConvertKit pricing. And I should not say ConvertKit versus MailChimp because I don't talk about that. I don't want to get people to my blog post and then they're disappointed. They bounce, they go away. And that's bad for the search results. So, but I can get ideas. Hey, I can make tutorials or reviews or blog posts about all this stuff. So I can also get suggestions, ConvertKit. And that's also with the free version. Come on, where are you? Yeah, come on, I need to be. Landing page, I talk about landing pages. So 87, good time to update. And then we can follow all these steps again. Focus keyword doesn't appear at the beginning of your content. ConvertKit is an email marketing. In this ConvertKit review, I show you how you can send broadcast emails. ConvertKit review. Okay, so now it's in the first paragraph. So this is looking good to basic SEO. We're getting to 96. Wow. And the additional focus keyword found in the subheadings. So make sure it is also in the subheadings. Those are the subheadings. ConvertKit pricing. Keyword density is 1.81. So it appears 32 times. And if something is missing over here, you can just fix it. So now this is really well optimized. Why is it not 100%? Well, you can read it over here. Maybe the title should be a little bit longer. But I would not take it too far. Of course, 96 is perfect. As when it is green, it's perfect. In order to optimize all the images, we can go to the backend or to the dashboard. Then I go to Media Library. I uploaded all the images over here by clicking on Add New. I click over here. I removed the dash. I forgot the T, so I should re-upload it. Copy it, paste it, and paste it. Then I go to the next one. And if I go back, it is there. So next one, copy, paste. Really important. Description is not necessary. I was just trying to show off, you know. Case, study, Elementor, copy, paste, creator, plan, copy, paste. And that's how I go through all the images. And in that way I will be found better. So it's worth the effort we put into this. Copy, paste. Okay, I close it. I go back to my post. ConvertKit review. And let's take a look at a few more things. If I scroll down over here at the focus keywords below, there is this text. This post is pillar content. Well, when is this post pillar content? When the content of this is evergreen. Like in about 3 years, when people read this blog post, will it still be relevant? If that is the case, I turn this on. Update. Okay, so basic SEO, additional SEO, title readability, content readability. It's all good. Now there are 4 tabs over here. We talked about this one already. If you click over here, you can go to social, make sure everything is exactly as you want it to be. You can even change the image if you want to. So when people share this on Facebook, that image will be displayed. You can have an icon overlay, a play icon or a GIF icon like that. If it's a video, but it's not, so I turn it off. You can take a look at Twitter. There's also a second tab. Do we want this to be indexed? Of course, we want to be found on this. If you don't want to be found, you can say no index. All these settings are okay. Then there's the canonical URL. If I would have double content, we want to let Google know that this is the right URL, because it can be that you have HTTPS and then the blog post, or HTTPS www, and then it will be duplicated in the search results, and that's not what we want. So you can say HTTPS ferdykorpershoek.com/ConvertKit review. That is the right URL. The breadcrumb title, I would just say ConvertKit review. We can also have a redirection, but we don't need that. Okay, let's update it. And then over here, the schema. Let's talk about schema markup for your pages. With schema markup, we can tell Google how to interpret again, a hard word, interpret our pages in the Google search results. For instance, when you have a blog post, Google shows you the title, the URL, and a small text about that page. But when you have a product page, you can let Google show the price of the product, a review score, the amount of reviews, discount. So with schema markup, you can tell Google how to show your pages the right way. Configure schema markup for your pages. Search engines use structured data to display rich results in search engine. Right now it is a video, but I want to change this to an article. So I can change it or I can delete it. Yes, I delete it. And I can also use a schema generator. And here I can choose one, or I can create a custom schema, but then I need to upgrade to the pro version of Rank Math. So what is it? Well, this is a review, so it falls in the category article. I click over here. I can use the SEO title. What is called ConvertKit Review 2021. So I will leave that as it is. I also want to use description and keywords. I will get the keywords I have created, and it is an article, and I save this for the post. Let's click on update. That's it. But now let's go to a product. A Nike t-shirt over here, Nike t-shirt. I pasted a few times in the description, Nike t-shirt, make it bold. I also use it over here below in the Rank Math SEO. The focus keyword is Nike t-shirt. I can edit this snippet. And now I want to take a look at schema. So it's a WooCommerce product. We can take a look over here. So there's a certain structure right now for every WooCommerce product. But what we also can do, remove this and use a schema generator and then search for product. And now we can adjust everything to our wishes. Well, by default, everything is already pretty good. The review location, I have a review. I can have a review. I want it is below the content. I want it to be fetched. Then there's SEO description, and here's some extra information. And if I search for Nike t-shirt, look at this, the title, the price, the website, the shipping cost. So there's extra information. There are even reviews. And over here, what I see, Nike shirts with the rating, reviews, return policy. So that is what is, that's what rich content is. You have more information to display. You see an address over here, see a phone number. That's not what you see when you search for how to make a website. You can see a video or just this, a few different links. So based on what you show, a video or an article or a product, you can have rich snippets. And this is still all in the free version. So if there's a product SUK, you can place it over here. Brand name, Nike, the price, $19, the currency, euro. Is it in stock? Yes. The place valid until yes, always. The rating is between 1 and 5 and it's 4.5. All that information can be showed and saved for this post. And I've not even talked about the price over here. I should say $19, etc. And what will happen now? That information will be richly displayed in the Google search results. And that's what is great about this function. When we go for Rank Math Pro, so let me do that, activate it. And I go to the posts. And I go to the ConvertKit review. The schema is article over here. So I go to the third tab. And now I can go to the code validation. This is how it looks. I can test it with Google. Test the code. There's a warning. The image object. It's a missing field, the author. So what I can do, I can go back, go to the article. Let's take a look. It's missing. So I can go to the advanced editor. Yes, I'm sure. And now I can go for author, which is Ferdy Korpershoek. Ferdy Korpershoek. Ferdy Korpershoek. I can add more stuff over here. And then I can save it for this post. Well, if you go to Rank Math, or even better, Rank Math documentation schema markup, this is a whole video on itself. There's an article over here. And this is how it can be displayed, depending on what kind of article you have, or an article or a product or a video. So this blog post will show you in depth what you can do. Look at this, how it is displayed. And if I would go for, well, let's say one of the pro versions, movie, for instance, or let's go for article. You see there are few free options, and then speakable in the pro version. And there's more about what you can adjust for books, for courses. And in that way, things will be displayed better in the search results and will help you to get more views. And now when I go to my website, or let's go to all the posts, what I see over here is that it's ranking really well. And this one is ranking not that good. This one is not ranking at all. So what I need to do, I need to optimize all the pages, and maybe think, but it's so much work. Well, it's hard work, and that hard work will pay off. So how bad do you want this? It's a matter of working really hard or hiring an editor that can do this for you. So you can also do this to pages. Well, there can be a slight problem, because if I take a look at my homepage, there's not much text. So let me edit this page. So it's a little bit harder to rank well for this, but it does no harm to optimize it a little bit. So I want to edit the snippet, learn how to create a WordPress website. If I want to have the year, I should do so this current year. Learn how to create a WordPress website. And then what I can do, I can go to Ahrefs. Do people search for that? Keyword Explorer. Do people search for how to make a WordPress website? And this is about the Netherlands. I want to focus on the United States. 1,000 people. What else you can do? Learn how to create a WordPress website. Here's 3.5. This is 2.2. So I should not use the word create, but make. And if I would say how to make a website. So not WordPress, but just a website. People are searching for that so much more. So what I should do, learn how to create a website. 2021. Everyone can learn how to create their own website. Okay, let's close this for now. Update it. And I'm definitely going to spend hours and hours fixing my website using Rank Math. So it's not like put a few things into practice and you're good to go. So I remove all those. That's what I've created a long time ago, I think. How to make a website. That's how I want, what I want to be found on. It does not appear in the SEO title. Here I say create. So now I say learn, or how to make a website, not learn. I just want to have, because if I say learn, I'm sorry, I'm using this again, learn. Less people are searching for this. 300. So that word can, I want to be found on this exact keyword. And then I go over here again. How to create a website. How to make. And now it's in the snippet and you see my ranking goes up. Wow. Learn how to make a website by following the best step-by-step tutorials on the internet. Yeah, I can be bold about that. Maybe it's not true. It's my opinion. I do my best to create the best tutorials. Learn how to make websites. So it's bold, and only here it's not bold because it's the homepage. So we don't have a URL over here. Can I make this text better with Grammarly? Yes, I really like Grammarly. Update, so it's 64 already. What can we do to make it even better? Well, focus keyword doesn't appear in the beginning of your content because actually my homepage is just an overview page. But what I can do, I can have a small paragraph with text here below, for instance. If I do that and I talk about how to make a website, we're good to go. So that's what I should do, but 64 is better than 0. And in that way I can go through all the pages and optimize my website like crazy so it will be found better. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this tutorial. When you applied everything I told you, you have an optimized website ready to be found on Google. What you can do now, you can come back now and then to the analytics of RankMath so you can see what is going right, what can do better within your website. So this is it for now for the free version of RankMath. What I will do, if you're like, okay, this is enough for me, thank you that you have watched this tutorial. Feel free to like it and subscribe for more upcoming WordPress related tutorials. If you want to take it to the next level, from now on in the tutorial, I will talk about RankMath Pro. There are more options and I will talk about them and show you how you can apply all those settings. So you can watch the video just for fun. And if you do that, then people will have a longer time that they watch my videos and I will rank better on YouTube and more people will find my videos, which will help me to be found better on YouTube. But then if more people watch my tutorials, yeah, there is also a problem because then more people will apply everything I teach and more people will be found better and the more people will be found better, the more competition there will be. So and it's up to you if you want to continue to watch this tutorial. You can also download this video and then watch it. I should not have said that, but some people still do that already. So that's it. Let's talk about RankMath Pro and get rid of all the broken links. So in order to get RankMath Pro, let's go to ferdycorp.com/RankMath, hit enter. And then we can go to the pricing. Let me upgrade so I can show you this feature. I go for the business trajectory. I accept the terms and conditions. I enter my VAT ID so that I don't have to pay the $41. And I want to pay with PayPal. Ferdy and Anna Media. And then I pay $1.99. And that opens up the world of Pro Tools within RankMath. So awesome. I can continue. Now I can download the files over here. And there it is, RankMath SEO Business. Download. And there it goes. I go to my website. Sorry that I'm doing this in the middle of something. It's not smart. I keep on learning. Okay, I've updated it. I go back. Then I go to plugins, add new. Upload plugin. I drag it over here. You need to keep the file you already have, the free version of RankMath. And then on top of it, you install RankMath Pro. Then you activate it. Let me close this. Now if I go to my account and I go to websites, I see connected and wow, I finally lost some weight. Wow, this is how I want to go through life, you know? Let's talk about that. No, let's not. So with RankMath Pro, I can export all the settings on my website to a different website and that will save me so much time. So in order to do that, I go to RankMath Status and Tools. Then I go to the fourth tab, Import and Export. And over here, I can import the settings or I can export them. So the general settings, titles and metas, sitemap settings, role manager settings, and redirections. I think we took quite a bit to talk about all this and now we can export it and import it so we don't have to do all that on a different website. I do not want to export the redirections and the role manager settings. So those three I want to export. I click on export. There it goes as a TXT file. Now I can go to a different website. I go to the backend to RankMath. And I can do two things. I can go to the dashboard, go to Setup Wizard, and use custom mode. And then I can drag this file over here. Or I can go to Tools and Status and Tools, Import and Export, and drag it over here. Import. Make sure that you make a backup. And then you can import those settings and it will save you a ton of time. So what else? What you can do, you can go to rankmath.com, go to pricing. Okay, they changed the pricing again. They're doing that every time. So you can see what is added over here. So if you go for the free version, advanced Google Analytics integration with Pro, it's there, keyword rank tracker. You can see all those options over here. There's also great documentation. So I go back to the homepage. I go to help, knowledge base. I can say SEO analysis, for instance. And then I click over here. And you look at this, the text with images. Really comprehensive. And then I can go back to the knowledge base, take a look over here. Import exports, score 100 with RankMath, post test, view all. And then we can see all this information. Analyzing your site's SEO with RankMath. You can watch a video. But I want to cover a few things. So we can go to the dashboard, and what you'll see now, we already talked about the 404 monitor. We already talked about analytics, but now there's a pro area. And since we have the pro version, that means there are more options at the 404 monitor than with the free version. How can I check that, or how can I adjust it? I click on the settings, but everything looks the same over here. If I go to my free version of RankMath, it looks exactly the same. So in this case, it's not shown in the settings, but if we go to the 404 monitor over here, free version and the business version, over here, I can export those settings, send them to my web developer if I would have one. Over here, I don't have that option. So I can click on export from a certain date, the 1st of until today. And then I can send it over to someone else, or I can keep track of all those URLs that are not found. Are people trying to hack me? I don't know. Let's take a look at redirections. I love the redirection option. You can let people go to a certain link and then redirect it to another link. You can keep track of everything. But over here, you can create categories, and in that way you can keep things organized. I have a lot of redirections. If I take a look at my tools, redirection, a lot of pages with redirections. It would be great if I could put them all into categories. So I know what are affiliate links, what are redirections, and that's what you can do with pro version of RankMath. So I go to RankMath, redirections, add new. The source URL is /new tutorial, and it will go to HTTPS. Okay, let's go to my latest tutorial. ConvertKit. Paste it over here. And then I can give a category blog posts. Okay, add the redirection. But if I have an affiliate link, add new. The source URL is ConvertKit discount. I can send it to my affiliate link. So let's say ConvertKit. Something like that. I can put it into the category blog post or affiliate links. I can add it over here, save it. Now if I click on affiliate links, I see all those redirections. So you can bring some structure in your redirections, which is handy if you have a lot of them. When we go to the free version, I go to my posts. I can do bulk actions, 3 of them. But when I go to the pro version of RankMath and I go to my posts, look at this. I can select blog posts, set them to no index, set them to no follow, to follow, remove the custom canonical URL. I can redirect them. So there's much more possible with the pro version when it comes to blog posts and editing them. And over here, if I want to do some quick edits, I can change the title, the slug, the categories and the tags, but I can do more in the pro version of RankMath. By clicking here, look at this. I can change the SEO title, the excerpt, I can change the robot meta, and I can change the primary keyword, the canonical URL. So there are a lot of pages, as you see over here, which have not been indexed yet. So I can go to the quick edit and I change it over here. So I can say the primary focus keyword is WordPress website. Update it. Go to the next one. So it's not ranked that well, but it's better than nothing. So in that way I can do some quick edits. Body, boss, tutorial. Update. Look at this. If I go to the ConvertKit review and I click over here and I go to the schema generator, it's an article. But if I decide over here to import a video, YouTube, I search on the internet for my new tutorial. Let's see if it's ranking after 4 days. Well, number 3, not bad. Copy the link, paste it, make sure to get rid of this area. And if I paste it, and I embed it, and I update it, look at this. A new schema is automatically created. If that doesn't happen, go to the backend, go to RankMath, titles and meta, and then I search for posts. And then over here, I need to turn on auto detect video. So when it, what we just have done, let me close this, this, and this. Okay, so let me go back to that post, all posts, ConvertKit review. I go over here to the schema, and then at video, I can also adjust it. So embedded URL, the content URL, if there's an MP4 or something else, the headline, the description, the shortcode, we can adjust a lot of things. So if there's a rating in the website, it can be fetched over here and I can save it as a template or save it for this post and then update it. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. What else? We talked about it already, but if you go to RankMath Analytics, you can see all the analytics of the keywords. So I talked about this already. Those tabs give you a lot of information. They can help you to optimize your website. So I want to dive a little bit deeper with schema markup within RankMath Pro. I go, let me first go to the dashboard. Make sure that schema markup, schema structured data is turned on and it has the Pro label. That means it's working. So then if I go to posts, all posts, and I go to the ConvertKit review, I can go to the third tab and there's the schema markup. We see that's an article schema. You can take a look at it. Wow, totally makes sense. Well, this already shows me that I'm happy that RankMath is doing this for us. Otherwise, you need to create this by yourself. You can edit it over here, or you click on the article, edit over here. You can change the SEO title, description, keywords. And you see it's okay what you can do over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things you can change. But what if you have a video? What I have over here, for instance, then there are different options based on video. The embedded URL, the shortcode, the upload date, the duration, video clip, the width, more information. And that's what you can do with the schema. So I can have multiple schemas. So I can go to the schema generator. I have 2 already. I can search over here. Maybe it's an article or a book or a course or an event. Well, for instance, I can make a recipe. And then I can show the preparation time, 20 minutes. The cooking time, 10 minutes. What is 20 plus 20 plus 10? I think it's 32, 30. Let me know in the comments. No, the type is the desserter. So you get more information. And when people search for how to bake a cake, look at this. How to bake a cake, a subtitle or category, how long the preparation time is, how good it is, reviews, So you see, those are rich results. And that's what you can do with schema markup. Same goes with book a hotel in London. Look at this, how it is displayed. The price, reviews, a few nice features of that hotel. That is schema, rich content. And that's what we can create over here. So we can select recipe. Let me close it. I don't want to have this, but also can have something else. So take a look over here. What comes closest to the content you create? And then choose that schema and then fill in all the information. And with the Pro version, you have more options and you can have multiple schema markups. One more thing, you can also create your own custom schema and then add a property group. So if you really don't find one over here, you can create your own one. So if you have a local business, maybe you're a local web designer and you focus on people around your neighborhood so you can drive by, help them, then you can go to Rank Math dashboard. Titles meta, sorry. And then we can go to the local SEO. Look at this. There's so much more information we can fill in over here. If you have multiple locations, you can change information per location. You can show your email. You can show your address. How should it be shown? Address, region. Maybe I don't want to show the region, the locality. The opening hours format, 24. Hide opening hours, no. Label when they're closed. So when people go to Albert Heijn, Maassluis, that's where I live, I can see right away that it is open right now and it closes at 8. This is the address, the website, directions to the Albert Heijn. So that's how it is displayed and that's what we can create over here with the local SEO, which is extended using the Pro version. You can change the kilometers or miles. How do you want to show the map over here? From which country is it? So fill it in and in that way you can be found better. So if I search for a web designer, Sluis, it can be displayed like this. And if you have all that information over here, it will be displayed also over here. And when people really search for you, so let's say Studio Arie van der Meer, that's the Dutch name. Studio Arie van der Meer. This is also how it is displayed. So make sure you fill in that information. So that is it. Thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope you learned a lot of stuff and you applied everything and you will be found better on the internet and you get a lot of clients, a lot of customers, a lot of viewers, a lot of more people to your website. You can help more people raise the prices of the service you offer and in that way spend your time better, serving more people, making more money, not serving more people. You will serve less people if you raise your price because you can help. Okay, let me think that through and then I don't know. Let's end this video by telling you thank you for watching and feel free to subscribe for more upcoming videos. Please like this video and then you'll see me in the next video. Bye-bye.